Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my Formula 1 2020 career mode. And we are sat at the team headquarters and just having a quick look at our car's performance, which isn't great. Just having a look at the R&D tree and everything. I've spent all my points, so I've got plenty of stuff in development again, focusing on chassis and aero, because that's our big area of underperformance. So we've got a couple of aerodynamic parts in the works, a chassis part in the work, which is a major update, and then we've got a small powertrain upgrade. Just because there is a major powertrain upgrade locked on that second level, which would be nice to get. But we're getting ready for the Vietnam Grand Prix, which is going to be interesting because it's going to be my first time ever running this track, because I've not done it in the game yet. In the My Team career mode that I did, I didn't race at this circuit. I only did a 16 race calendar. And Vietnam wasn't one of the tracks. So I am literally going to be having my first ever experience of this track in this video and this race, which probably doesn't bode well, because I'm guessing most people would have liked to have driven a track before they commit to a race on it. We can't do any upgrades. I would like to get the turbo and ICE upgrades done, durability upgrades, because the turbo is something that's going to wear out fairly quickly.
Sooner or later you'll probably be asked by the media who you consider to be your rival. Think carefully who you select, as while you will receive acclaim for beating them, you'll lose acclaim if you fail to do so.
Ooh. So we make sure we pick somebody nice and easy then, don't we? Right, we've got some parts, so we're going to do the internal combustion engine durability upgrade. We'll have to save the turbocharger durability upgrade for another time. So we're gonna, and like I say, there's another major upgrade there. Look, on the chassis side of things, so we could definitely boost our chassis forward quite quickly as long as we keep doing the points. And tyre compounds, I really have no idea what tyre compounds to go for. This looks like a Monaco type track to me, which means we're probably going to want a lot of soft tyres for a lot of grip. And if it is a Monaco type circuit, then I really am not expecting good things from it. So we'll dive in. We'll see what Carl and Jeff have got to tell me. Not in a rivalry currently at the minute, although we will be in one by the end of this race weekend, because I think this is where we get one. It's also nice to see on the forecast there that practice 3 is going to be wet and rainy, so I'm probably going to skip practice 3 anyway, like I normally do, to save mileage, wear and tear on the car. Here we are in Vietnam. Going over some last minute things with my race engineer. So we went through I went through practice, and I've done all my, team programs. I got 550
To view your
resource.
current tyre, brake and engine temperatures, press the MFD button to open the multifunction display, and then press it again to cycle through till you reach the temperature information screen.
Thank you for interrupting me, Jeff. I got 550 resource points out of a possible 575 that were on offer. The one program I could not purple around here was the fuel management. And looking at pace, looking at speed, we're about
So
9th
far,
and
our
10th.
fastest lap is a 1:38.6.
But what's worrying about that is we set that time on the soft tyres. A lot of the guys ahead of us did it on the hard, did their times on the hard compound. So our 9th and 10th in practice does not bode well for qualifying in the race. If most of the guys can set faster times than us on the hard tyres. So we're going to head into qualifying anyway. We need to do it. Try and get into our best place, best position we can. I think we're not going to be doing any gambling in qualifying, folks. We're just going to be running soft compound, soft compound, soft compound, soft compound. Because if we try running the mediums or hards, then we're definitely going to be last. And as you can see, by completing free practice, I did get put into a rivalry with Nicholas Latifi of the Williams. So I've now got the challenge of having to beat him in qualifying and the race. Just having a quick look through at the engine components. I don't need to swap any gearboxes or engine parts yet. However, depending on qualifying, if qualifying goes really badly and I'm out in Q1, then there's a possibility, or there's a high chance, that I will take some extra engine parts. I'll fit an extra engine, an actual whole complete new one, take the penalties and get basically a 4th unit for the year. I think then I've got a bit of a backup then. It's the same strategy I employ when I race at Monaco. If I don't qualify well at Monaco, I'm going to be starting last, and there's a high chance that I'm probably not going to finish the race because I'm probably going to crash. Then I will take extra engine components, take the penalties, get them all out of the way at a track we know we're going to lose at, and then I can just run a brand new engine at every race for the rest of the season. Yeah, here's the first look at the Vietnam track then. For you guys, obviously I did free practice, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this circuit. The fact that we never got to see it actually on TV this year, because Formula 1, obviously, because of the COVID situation, didn't go and race in Vietnam. So we never actually got to see how the race kind of panned out on this circuit. Means that potentially I don't really have a lot of love for it. It's a bit different when you've seen a race on a circuit, you know if it's any good or not. When your only
Be careful with the front wing. You've taken
impression
some
of
minor
a
damage.
circuit or a track is from a video game, it's hard to really tell whether it's a good track or not. For me personally, I'm not a big fan. I don't like the walls and the barriers. I don't like circuits like this with walls and barriers right on the edges of the track.
Okay,
It feels far
take it
too
easy on the car. We
claustrophobic
can't
for me.
sustain this
It
level of
does.
damage.
And I'm just scared of putting the car in the wall, so I'm just driving so on the back foot all the time, not really using the throttle. Foot's always cautiously on the brake. You know, I'm never going to be quick at a circuit like this because I don't have the confidence, and that's a real life issue, really.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
I don't like the claustrophobic feeling of these barriers. Right, we'll head back to the garage because we did a lap. It may not have been the best lap. We damaged the front wing, which didn't help. We kind of rubbed the
Car
wall.
repairs have set us back a little.
And we're not even in the top 10. We're down in 11th place, and that's not
Our
great
best
because
lap so
some
far
cars
is
haven't
a
even gone
1
out
minute
yet.
39.8.
14th, 15th, 16th. Okay, we're in the knockout zone now. 18th. potentially going to get eliminated from Q1 with only the AlphaTauri boys behind us. I'm going to have another run. As much as I don't like this circuit, and I don't feel I drive it very well, I think I can probably improve my lap time a little bit over my first run. One of the big things is the understeer. Understeer on this circuit is a killer, and that really does just give me no confidence in driving this circuit quick. I'm just terrified that every time you're going wide in the corners and the barriers get closer and closer and closer, and I can't just keep my foot planted. Look, because the car just wants to go straight to the walls.
Your lap times are slower than Roman's. Slower than Roman.
Oh, that's a great confidence booster, Jeff. Thanks for telling me that when I'm already not feeling great about myself. I kept the car closer to the racing line on that through that section, and I've now gone green, so this is my best sector yet, and that's moved me up to 5th place. That's got me out of the drop zone.
2 laps of fuel remaining.
Right, that moved me out of the drop zone, so both me and Roman look like we're safely through at the minute in Q1. Let's see who's getting eliminated at the minute. Danny Rick, Latifi. I think I saw the McLarens in there too, didn't I? Bottas down in 11th place, look. So, Carlos Sainz, Nicholas Latifi, Lando Norris. Wow, the 2 McLarens didn't make it through to Q2. Along with the AlphaTauris, they get dropped. Wow, that's surprising, because I would have thought the McLarens would have been quite good round here. Qualifying 2, make sure we are on the fresh set of tyres. Not the used set. Let's go and do a super duper awesome Uber flying lap. What's frustrating about the way I drive is I can do these like one lap sort of real good times, you know, far better than what, you know, batting well above the team's average, you know, but what I can't do is deliver those lap times consistently lap after lap. So although I can go out in qualifying and bust in an awesome single lap that puts me on like the second row of the grid, I can't deliver those times in a race consistently lap after lap after lap. So wherever I qualify in a race at the minute, the chances of me staying there to the race end is slim to none, because I'm pretty much just going to be eaten up by all the quick guys behind me who can be consistent over a lap. Kind of where I need the car's performance to be better, because then the car being quicker gives me a bit of flexibility to have bad laps, you know. If you have a bad lap in a quick car, it's not so bad as if you have a bad lap in a slow car. You know, or if you have half a dozen bad laps in a slow car, you're going to be really hurting for it. Whereas in a quick car, one fast lap could definitely make up whatever you lose from having a couple of bad laps. Whereas in a slow car, you're not going to make the time back. And I've gone super deep into that corner. Couldn't get the car to slow down in time. Q2 might be the end of our road, I think. Not going to be lucky to get much further than that. But we'll see. Anything can happen. Someone could crash quite easily on this circuit. Any one of the top guys could have an accident, and as a result we get slightly better grid place than we should do.
Our best lap so far is a 1:37.8.
1:37. So that's good enough for 8th place at the minute. Right. We will see then. Let's see. I'm not going to run again in this session. I'm going to just do the one lap. So if we don't make it, we don't make it. Right now, Bottas is not in the... Bottas is in the drop zone. Ooh, Bottas having issues in the Merc. Yeah. Oh, okay, Bottas did manage to improve then. So Charles Leclerc got dropped in the Ferrari. He got knocked out. We finished P9 with George Russell in the Williams sneaking into P10. Well done, George Russell. That Williams is performing better than it should be around this circuit. Right, so Q3 then. This is a bit of a surprise. Wasn't expecting to be in Q3. So, take what we can get. Just go out there, put in a flying lap, and be prepared. The only thing is, starting middle of the pack, you potentially run into that issue of being in the first corner pile-up. And that's the one downside to keep qualifying middle of the pack. Your race starts to become very nervous. Burn down here. Managed to slow the car down that time. Always good. Oh, that wall got close to me.
Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Yeah, probably just hit it actually, Jeff. I'm guessing that's why you've come on the radio. I thought I got away with that. Bit of contact, but clearly Jeff says, 137, was that 137.6?
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
Alright, Jeff, I'm coming in.
We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car.
137.8 seems to be about the best I can get around this track, which is not good when Lewis Hamilton's doing 135.2s. That's 2.6 seconds slower than the pole man. And even Verstappen's not far off that.
1 minute 37.8.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top
two
three:
Red Bulls,
Hamilton, Verstappen and Alexander Albon. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
So, yeah, we're faster than George. That's about it. And I imagine some of the guys behind us will be quick. I can't imagine for a minute that Carlos Sainz and Lando aren't quick round here. I don't know what happened to them in qualifying. But I guess we head into the race and just see what happens. That's all we can do, really.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Successful qualifying, really? Well, yeah. Guess we did better than we thought. It's going to be nice. There's not any rain forecast. But I can just imagine now, with the look we've had with the first two races and with this track layout, I imagine this is going to be a bit safety car potential. This track's going to have some safety car potential, which could completely ruin the flow of everything.
The Formula One circus has arrived in Southeast Asia once more, as we usher in a new era and get ready to go racing here in Vietnam. A lap of Hanoi circuit then, 3.4 miles around the Vietnamese capital. A number of the 23 corners take their inspiration from other great circuits, hopefully creating plenty of passing opportunities. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Why don't we start by talking about Valtteri Bottas? That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Alexander Albon lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Bottas, Esteban Ocon, and Perez,
Verstappen gone?
Raikkonen, Schumacher, Leclerc, and Roman Grosjean. Verstappen,
Ooh, Verstappen
Ricciardo,
got a 10-place
Lance
penalty.
Stroll, and Giovinazzi, Sainz, Latifi, Lando Norris, and Daniel Kvyat. Gasly
As did
and
George Russell.
ends our grid lineup.
Oh,
Now, it's
that's
almost time for
depressing
lights
for
out,
George.
so let's go down to the track.
He did so well to qualify in 10th place, and then he's got a 10-place penalty. What
Now
did
that
he
we've got some points
change on the
let's
car?
continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
We are going to go for the personalised strategy. We're also going to crank on a bit of extra front wing, because we're going to be heavy fuel at the start of the race. So let's do it. 5 red lights and then away we go. Got a good launch. Very good launch. Straight up between the tracing point and the Renault. Oh, there's a gap. Not a great one. I've managed to stick it. We're in P4. Wow, made 4 places on the opening lap. On the start. And I didn't hit anybody and no one hit me. That's good. We like
Keep
that.
pushing. Let's capitalise on that first lap.
Well, it's not really the first lap, is it, Jeff? It's like literally first, 3 corners. There's a lot of this lap still to go yet, Jeff, really. But, I like his enthusiasm. He got a great start. It can only go downhill from here. Let's play the game of how long does it take for them to catch and pass me. Can I be a bit of a rolling roadblock for a number of laps? And hold these guys up. Bottas is all over me. He's trying to carpool. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to car share. He wants to do some car share karaoke or something. He literally wants to be sat right in my lap. That Mercedes driver. And he's got Esteban Ocon there behind him as well. That Renault guy punching above his weight. I should imagine that once like DRS gets enabled in another lap's time, then we'll start to see these guys behind me coming past. Right now, because I'm using rich mix and ERS, I'm able to... Oh, here comes the Mercedes. We're not racing them at Bottas, so let him go. Let him go. Would be nice if we could keep the Renault behind us and a couple of the other people like Perez and that, but again, probably a tall order. In the straight liney bits of the circuit, we should be very good. That's where the power unit in this car will definitely be pretty good.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy.
These bendy, twisty bits, we struggle with our chassis and aero. And Bottas has pitted very early on lap 2.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS
By the
when you're
way,
within 1
Bottas has
second
gone
of the
into the
car
pits
ahead and in the
very early.
DRS zone.
I wonder if he's picked up some damage on that opening lap. Or he just really doesn't want to be running on soft tyres. He really wants to be on the mediums or the hards, maybe. Going for a long one-stop strategy. Got Ocon still behind us in the Renault, Perez behind him. Couldn't really see much in the rearview mirror to see who else was behind them. Guessing Verstappen's going to be back there. Leclerc. Ocon tried. Yeah, Verstappen's behind Perez. So there's 3 guys that I would expect to pass me in short order. I think he hit me.
Flag.
Yeah, Ocon hit me. Ocon just drove into the back of my car. And then he's had to pit as a result. Outbroke himself. At least I didn't take any damage. Tracing point is looking very, very swarmy in the mirror. That Merc engine's going to come past me right about now. No, he's not. Oh, he couldn't do it. He hadn't got the speed. Our Ferrari power unit holds off the red Mercedes, the pink Mercedes. But Verstappen has now got past Perez, so we're not going to be holding off the Red Bull. Max crash waiting to happen is going to just come through. Let him through. Don't risk any contact with him. He says as I dive back down the inside. Oh, and he spun me. You git.
Full course caution. The safety car is out. Keep an eye on the Delta. We need to
Wow,
keep it positive
that
to
was
avoid a penalty.
that was
Slow
interesting.
down,
Max
maintain
spun me
positive
and
Delta.
caused a
Check
traffic
your
jam.
MFD for a new strategy option.
He caused a traffic jam in that corner, which has actually brought out the safety car. Well done, Max.
Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty.
Max has pitted,
Slow
so
your
he's
pace
probably got
immediately.
front wing too. But then again, they're probably going to pit anyway under the safety car. I'm not going to pit under the safety car. I'm going to stick with my original strategy. Because I've still got memories of Bahrain fresh in my mind, where I pitted under the safety car at the end of the race and potentially lost myself a good points finish there.
Roman's race is over. He's stopped.
Ah, poor old Roman. So we are flying the flag for Haas as the sole remaining driver. So that's Latifi out of this race. I saw fairly early. Grosjean. Tell you what, this track could claim some victims today. Could claim a few cars. Those walls are unforgiving. We've got Giovinazzi coming up behind me now. Catch the safety car queue. You think the safety car queue would drive a lot slower to let you catch it a lot easier?
The car ahead has come in and fitted the soft tyre.
So Vettel and Hamilton did manage to pit. And whoever's in front of them, Albon. So they've all made their pits and have got changed tyres. Hamilton's on the mediums, Vettel's on the softs. Can't really tell about Albon, sadly. Just purely and simply because the preview window, the preview video that I've got in Sony Vegas as I'm recording this commentary is so freaking small. I can't really see any of the minor details on the screen. It would be a lot better if I could record this commentary as I was racing, but then I definitely don't think I would drive anywhere near as good as I do, because I'd be distracted by trying to talk to you all the time. And also you would hear how shockingly bad my Logitech steering wheel is for rattling and grinding and making lots of noise. You may have actually heard it on some of the previous videos, certainly some of the Formula 2 videos I did earlier on in this Let's Play. You might have noticed the wheel in a few bits when I was recording the commentary live. Now I've just decided to do it all post, which takes longer for me to record the video, because obviously I've got to record all the racy stuff, which takes, you know, nearly an hour and a half, 2 hours, to do all the practice sessions, to do the qualifying, to do the race, get all that recorded, put it into Vegas, edit it, chop it all up, put it all together, and then to sit here, watch the whole video and record the commentary at the same time. So I really would appreciate it if everybody watching this video could go ahead and click that like button, just, you know, because of the effort and time it takes to make these videos. I don't care if you don't like the video. You know, I don't care if you watch the video and you're like, didn't think much for that race.
When the field
Just
accelerates, remember,
spare a
there is
thought
no
for the
overtaking
creator
until
and
the
the
green
effort that goes
flags.
into it.
Safety car in this lap.
And press the button. Press the like button. And do that on every video you watch, you know.
Green flag. Green flag. We're racing again. We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon.
Keeping that Alfa Romeo behind us. That's the most important thing.
No need to worry about tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Oh, we've got Alpha Tauris are down the left of us. We've got Lando Norris, no, Carlos Sainz behind us, and Lance Stroll. As the other pink Mercedes and McLaren start getting close and frisky. This is where we start to go. And there's a huge train of cars back there. Huge train of cars.
Albon has the lead.
This is where we potentially don't... Lost 2 places in one corner. Now I've got Gasly in the other Alpha Tauri behind me, and also Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes. Everybody's suddenly jumped up a lot of places. Have the leaders just pitted or something? Here comes Valtteri. That Mercedes, man. I wasn't even in a position where I could have potentially dived down the inside of him there. He'd literally got that far ahead of me in that short distance. Goodbye. Goodbye, Valtteri. See you in Parc Ferme. He's gone. No amount of DRS or ERS is going to keep me on the back of that Mercedes. Here comes Lando.
Okay, focus. We need to stay on form.
I'm not going to hit Lando. Verstappen could very well. Because he caused that accident that brought out the safety car. He caused that flipping traffic jam. In that very corner, actually. He's done well to come back after his pit stop, because obviously he had to box for probably, I'm guessing it was a new nose cone. So I'm stopping on my original scheduled lap now for new tyres. We're going to be fitting on another set of the softs. And then our second and final stop of the race will be running the mediums in our final stint. But there's always that potential now that people are going to say, well, you screwed up again here. Under the safety car, you should have pitted. And because you didn't, and you've stopped in the race, you've actually lost more time. And I've lost a load of time because the guys changed the front wing. I don't recall where I got damage. I didn't hit anybody.
Okay, stay clear of the white line.
So
on
why
the
are they
exit.
changing
We'll
the front
receive a
wing?
penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
I certainly wasn't noticing any performance issues from the front wing. So that's confused me.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
Have the Formula 2 pit crew returned for this weekend? Because in Formula 2 they always wanted to change my front wing at every pit stop. And cost me no end of time. And they seem to have done it again here. Well, that's just double pain then, isn't it? Because I'm the only guy that's pitted in actual race conditions. Everybody else seems to have pitted under the safety car. So I'm now last in the race, officially.
Let's use
The only
overtake
people
and burn
behind
some of
me
this
are
energy.
the guys who sadly aren't in the race anymore. Latifi, Grosjean, Sebastian Vettel. Vettel didn't finish. Interesting. I must have missed that incident with Vettel then. Where did he go out of the race? Unless he went out when the safety car was triggered, was he? Did he go out then? Was he a victim of the... no, because he was in front of me. He wasn't a victim of Max Verstappen, was he? Because I could have sworn he was in front of me at that point. Unless he's got biffed at the safety car restart by someone. Well, at least we're not going to be last. That's the one good thing. I'm not going to be last in this race. Unless I fail to finish. I mean, I'm guaranteed 17th at least. Goes up on the back of the AlphaTauri, who through this section probably now pulls away from me. I got very close to the walls again. Yeah, it's through this section of the track. Well, I just can't compete. These guys just drive away from me. In the bendy part of the track, the twisty part, they've got the speed and the downforce, whereas I don't. I'm only quicking on the two straights. Kvyat's like pulling out a second on me all the time. Gone. I really wasn't sure what way to go with the setup on this track. I don't know what was the car setup I should have gone for. I think I went for slightly more high speed with the preset, because I figured you probably need speed. I tried in practice running the maximum downforce Monaco type setup, and then the slightly more downforce preset. Neither of those I was truly happy with. I seem to be really, really slow in a straight line, especially in the speed trap. So I've gone for the more high speed setup, but now I think I'm paying for it in the corners, in these bendy bits. Perhaps balance would have been the right setup to go for, maybe. I would have lost a little bit of my straight line speed, like in this section, but maybe I would have gained it back in the cornery bits. Difficult to say. A little bit deep in there. It's another race as well that feels really long when you're driving it. Feels like such a long slog of a race, and bear in mind I'm only doing 50% race distance in this career mode. I'm not doing 100% races, but already I'm starting to get a little bit fatigued driving this circuit. I've only done 12 laps. I'm not even halfway.
Our gap to the car in front is 5.1 seconds.
Kvyat's checked out up front. We've lost the gap to him. That was a bad corner. Got all up on the curb and had to almost come to a standstill. Because if I'd have just stepped on the accelerator, I probably would have spun myself into the wall. Bit of a lonely race back here now. Not a lot happening. No, I'm just trundling round, trying to keep the car in one piece and all four wheels on. But everybody else is just so much faster than me in race pace, race trim. They're more
7
consistent with
seconds
their
is
lap
all that
times.
separates you and the car ahead.
Yeah, 7 seconds. That's beyond that's beyond me at this circuit. I cannot recover 7 seconds. Not on this track. I don't have the experience with it, you know, or the confidence. It'd be different if you said to me, like, at the next race, you know, in China or somewhere, if I was 7 seconds behind a car, I would think I had a chance of making that back. In fact, I would be positive I could make that back and very confident I could gain 7 seconds back in China or even Azerbaijan. I think I would prefer at this point.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
New strategy? Oh, safety car's out again, is it? What happened there? Jeff wants me to change my strategy.
Okay, copy that.
And keep the current one, Jeff. We're just going to stick to the 2 stops that we planned before the race. I'm not going to... I mean, again, people are going to probably shout at me in the comment section below that I should have taken...
Slow down.
Should have taken
Your
the
delta
free
is
pit
negative,
stop.
which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
The chance of a cheap pit stop under the safety car. Lance Stroll went out the race there, did he? So he was the one that caused this safety car. So that's one of the tracing points out of the race. Puts us up to P16. quite a few guys have pitted again. So I get to jump some places now by staying out. Trouble is, I'm going to make my pit stop probably under green flag conditions when everybody's running at full speed, so I'm going to probably lose out more.
The car behind has boxed for the mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre.
I like to think we're still good though on the softs. I like to think these soft tyres still offer us a lot. George Russell up to P10, look, head of Carlos Sainz. So George has done well. He's actually got back to the position he qualified in. So he's actually on course for a point at the minute, is George Russell. Be good for Williams. Not so good for me, because they would then be on the same points total as me for the season. And I don't want to be sharing prize money with them. Taking me a long while to catch this safety car. You. But there we are. Finally got back on their tail. So of course this is lap 17 where I'm supposed to be pitting, but Jeff doesn't remind me to box this lap. Oddly.
Right, pick up the pace a touch, please. We need to close to within 10 car lengths of the car ahead. Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
Prepare to resume racing. No overtaking to the green flag. Right, when we probably get the green flag in a second down here, don't we? Yeah. Green, green, green. Not the best place for me to go green because I wasn't close to Carlos. I'd lost quite a bit of ground.
You're catching the car ahead very quickly. Let's keep this up.
Well, only because of the safety car, Jeff. It wasn't really anything to do with me. Here comes Giovinazzi. At Alpha. But you know what? I'm going to have a dive. I don't want to lose out to the Alpha. And Lando Norris has managed to get past him too. I'm not gonna hold up Lando. I like Lando. Lando's a nice kid. I like Lando, so I'm not going to make things difficult for Lando if he tries to pass me and overtake me. Yeah, see? Yeah, pretty straightforward move there for him. I just went so deep into that corner. Too busy watching him and not my braking zone.
Try not to push the tyres too hard. You're probably losing some grip at this point.
Well, yeah, Jeff, because we've gone too many laps. We were supposed to pit a lap ago, Jeff. I've got no ERS, so I'm an absolute sitting duck now. Can't fight these guys off.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Tell you what, the Haas needs bigger batteries. We don't hold a lot of electrical charge and we don't recover it that quickly. It's one thing that is quite bad. Our energy recovery system is not brilliant on this car. Determined to keep that Alpha behind me. For as long as I can. And everyone behind him, Kvyat, Gasly. They're the guys I'm really racing with in this race.
The gap to the car ahead is 4.3 seconds.
We're not racing. Oh, we should be racing Russell, I suppose. Technically, we should be racing George. But I'm just not quick enough. I'm not quick enough on this circuit. Me. I'm the weak link today. Giovinazzi's pitted behind me. That's interesting. Means hopefully I should get out in front of him.
Exit now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Release, release.
I still have one car behind me in the race.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
We will finish the race on the mediums. That's it. That's all our pit stops done. We're not risking anything else. Just need to get these tyres fired up as quick as I can. Get some heat into them.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
Okie dokie, Jeff. I guess we settle into driving now then for the last 8 laps of the race. I doubt there's going to be much more drama. Certainly from my end of things. I've done my pit stop. I'm ahead of Giovinazzi. Right, we've moved on because it was very uneventful, the race. So we're on lap 27 of 28 now. I am up into 14th place because
okay, gap ahead is 5.6 seconds.
Apparently suffered mechanical failures and dropped out of the race. So that gave me a free place.
Box this lap, please. We need to get you on new tyres and move on to a different strategy.
I really have no idea why Jeff's telling me to box with 1 lap to go. Because that would put us behind Giovinazzi. Also, what is kind of interesting there, on the side of the screen, Lewis Hamilton is only just ahead of George Russell. So Lewis Hamilton made a pit stop and is now running in 12th place. So he's gone from being right at the front of the field to being down in 12th. I'm not quite sure what's gone on with Hamilton's race there, whether he maybe suffered some damage or
There's
some
only
issue.
1 lap of fuel remaining.
Yeah, things have gone quite bad for the Mercedes driver.
This is your final lap of the race.
Because although he's got the fastest lap, he's not in the top 10 to actually get the point for it.
You're losing 2 seconds a lap to the car behind. 2 seconds.
Thankfully, there's only 1 lap left, Jeff, so he's not going to catch me. And then the only other thing I can hope for after the race is that some of these drivers have got loads and loads of penalties for collisions and stuff, and they get demoted. Maybe I can gain a couple of places. The good thing is I haven't had any penalties in this race, touch wood, so far. I have not received a single black and white flag of any kind. No corner cutting, no track limits, no contacts with other cars. I've been a good, clean boy this race. And I'm hoping it pays off at the end. I'm hoping we might be able to jump a place or two if some people get demoted. So Max has picked up the race win for Red Bull. So he got past Albon then. That's not bad for Max, because Max didn't start high up the grid, did he? And in fact, he had that incident with me, when he ran into me, and caused that traffic jam and brought out the first safety car. So he's done well, because he was quite a long way back in the field after that, because he had to pit for a new nose cone. And then he's gone on to win the race. Unbelievable.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Lando Norris, driver of the day.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the Vietnam Grand Prix. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team.
Charles Leclerc
They performed exceptionally
made
today,
third place,
keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race.
So no
Congratulations to
Merckx,
everyone
no
on the
Bottas
team.
and no Hamilton on the podium. Wow, that's a shocker. That's a bit of a surprise. Right. Red Bull podium lockout. 1 and 2. And then Ferrari sneaking in there with the 3rd place.
Let's have a quick look at how the driver's standings
Danny
have
Rick
changed.
was 4th,
Valtteri
Bottas was
passes his
5th,
rival to take over the lead
Perez
of the Drivers'
6th,
Championship.
Lando
Let's
7th,
focus on the
Ocon
driver of
8th,
the day.
Kvyat Knight
Anthony
Sainz
Davidson.
10th, Gasly
Who do you
11th.
pick?
It's got to be Lando
Lewis
Norris,
was
hasn't
down
it?
in 12th. He had
Smooth,
4
confident and
stops, did
assured.
Lewis. Lewis
I've got
had
no doubt
4
that he
pit
and his
stops.
team are going to be over the moon with his performance.
Yeah, that's not
today.
going to help
It's
Lewis
time to check
Hamilton's
out the
race.
constructors' standings. The current championship leaders still hold top spot, but that gap
And
is
we
getting
beat, obviously,
smaller.
the
There was
Latifi,
also a strong
Grosjean,
showing from
Vettel,
the
Stroll,
McLaren team
Raikkonen
today
and
as they make their
Giovinazzi.
way up the standings. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races
great,
lined
not a
up,
great
be sure
race.
to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to the next race, I have to admit. See if we can do slightly better on a track that I will actually know and have raced before.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
I'll get complacent.
It was more like Dodgems than Formula One today, wasn't it?
Like a fairground with all those clowns. I don't actually... Some of these questions are so ridiculous because I don't remember that many bumps and bangs. I certainly didn't bang... I didn't have any incidents really with anybody. Apart from that one with Verstappen. And the one where... I think it was Bottas who drove into the back of me in one corner. Was it Bottas? Someone drove into me. And then they pitted. And then, obviously, Verstappen spun me. That was the only real incident, none of which were my fault. So some of those questions I find a little bit stupid to have to answer them. But the good thing is we've got an invitational event coming up, and then we've got the Chinese Grand Prix coming up after that. So they will be in the next video. So come back and look forward to seeing that one very, very soon. From me, C-Waddy, it's goodbye for now, folks.